Hi there, Timmy Williams here. It is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. This is day 5 of me having COVID 19, which means I am halfway through being quarantined. Um, Still have 5 days to go on that. Symptoms. Still have a bit of a cough. It came up a little bit ago, but really haven't noticed it. Obviously, my voice isn't as husky anymore, right? I still don't sound like the impression that Zach does of me, right? Or of Darren. They all do very good Timmy voices. I don't sound like that yet. But no, my symptoms are uh, pretty mild, not really existent that much right now. Got some snottiness in my head. That might just be me. Seasonal changes, kind of that happens inside my face when seasons change a little bit. So it could just be that. Got a little congestion, but and still tired. Sleeping a bunch. But no, I'm optimistic. Feeling pretty good about the symptoms. Obviously I'm only halfway through the only being halfway through the quarantine amount makes me think, well, maybe I could still have some stuff pop up. I'm eating Domino's for lunch, and I'm able to taste and smell it, right? Because if you want to have the best, right, when you're quarantined. Anyway, so yeah, and so yesterday is when I started talking about this in public, and so people were saying like, hey, that's cool that you're talking about it, and that's cool that you're sharing about it, because a lot of people don't do that, when they're going through this. The government doesn't tell when they announce numbers, they don't say who has it. And so people have been generally anonymous about it. And I was like, well, I think it's kind of interesting. Plus, Whitest Kids just started kind of being online all over the place within the last few months. And we just started Twitch streaming last week. And so here I am suddenly falling off the face of the earth. So I kind of, right when we started kind of putting stuff out there and appearing live on live streams, it's like, okay, well, where'd Timmy go? I didn't want that to happen. So I figured, well, let's just be honest about it. Here's the one thing that made me hesitant is that due to the fact that I appear to be having a very mild case of COVID-19, I was kind of worried that, since I'm someone who has been kind of preaching safety, wearing the masks and doing social distancing and following the guidelines. And I'm in a state and a town that doesn't really agree with that. They think we can just, wish it away, or really that it's not a big deal, right? So by me coming on and saying, hey, I have it, and it's not been too tough for me, people are going to be like, oh, well, you got it and you wear a mask and it's not that bad. So, QAnon is real, whatever crazy assumption they're going to jump to there. But basically, I still want to talk about it. And I still, despite being worried how idiots might use this, to argue their own points, I still felt like, no, I'm going to talk about it. And I do want people to know about it. And really, that kind of brings me to the point of what I kind of want to mention about today is that the fact that a lot of people, whether you're talking about my town, my state, or my country, the fact that a lot of people saw the pandemic begin and saw these guidelines come out and then saw them change, as like science got new information and kind of evolved their stance on things. But they look at all these guidelines and their first response is like, well, I guess I could just, wear a mask in the grocery store and not go in restaurants for a while. Weird, but I'll do it. That wasn't the response. The response is, okay, how can I argue this so I can keep going into Applebee's and, get away from my wife? Like that's just kind of how I feel like that was people's reason for not wanting to do this, because let's get down to it. The people that think that all this stuff is like against our freedom or somehow restricting your freedom are babies and cowards. And you need to get out of your own head, out of your own pin-sized worldview, and out of your own town for a little while, because, I mean, you know how many other people in the universe would look at me having to sit at home? I'm still getting paid. I'm still on the internet. I can watch movies. I had a guy bring me a fucking pizza to my door. I didn't even have to see them. It just showed up. You know what I mean? Like, so I still have plenty of freedom. You know what I mean? Like, get over yourselves. Get over being American. And let's support each other. So anyways, yeah, I was worried about how me just not being very sick might shoot that in the foot. But you know what? That doesn't matter, because yeah, I'm not very sick. But someone else I know at the place where I possibly got this from got very, very, very sick, really sick, and he's still not doing that great. And, you don't know, right? So why don't we just, since there's so much we don't know about it, why don't we just follow the rules? Why did we have to start arguing about it? Why couldn't we just be like, yeah, you're right, it's not that big a deal to have to do these things? Because you know what? It's not that big a deal. It really isn't. Just fucking do it. So, anyways, so hopefully we can be done with all this soon and not have to yell at each other about it. But I really just wish it was a simpler, okay, let's just do this thing. And it seems like other countries that did do that, even when they're having resurgences of the virus, are still having a much easier time. So, whatever. But it's important for us to be tricked into thinking that we have a bunch of freedoms and then be tricked into thinking that taking care of each other restricts those pretend freedoms. Okay, so that's enough about that. Sorry, this was a long one. Anyways, I'm doing all right. Besides that, I'm probably going to start going insane, though, because now I feel good. And my day job as an insurance agent, I legally can't work from home unless we kind of change some things. Maybe we will, but no. I mean, I probably can't do any work from home. I can't go be on the radio station. And, I can't do any of my other work, really. So I'm just going to be going crazy. And maybe I'll learn how to sculpt.